Hello dear students, today we will discuss about the muscles of the forearm, both anterior aspect and the posterior aspect. Okay. Before going into the muscles of the forearm, we will quickly revise through the spaces around the shoulder joint. It's quite important. So very easily you can make your hand in use your fingers to identify the spaces. Okay, so imagine that this is the humerus and this is the triceps, long head of triceps, and the other two fingers you need to make it as teres minor and teres major. Okay, now you can see three spaces over here. So this is the quadrangular space over here. Okay, and this will be the upper triangular space and this is the lower triangular space. Okay, so now this belongs to the right side. Okay, the same way we can see the diagram over here to identify. Now this is the quadrangular space between teres minor above and below you have teres major. This is teres major here, teres minor above, and on either side you have the humerus. This is the neck of the humerus, okay, surgical neck of the humerus, and you have the long head of triceps. Okay, so this is your quadrangular space, and you need to know the structures present in the quadrangular space. You can see there is a artery and there is a nerve. The nerve will be the axillary nerve, okay, and the artery will be the posterior circumflex humeral artery, posterior circumflex humeral artery. Okay, now going to the triangular spaces. So the upper triangular formed by teres minor, teres major and long head of triceps. Okay, so what is present here, there's just one artery. It's called as circumflex scapular artery, circumflex scapular artery. Okay, okay, and then coming to the lower triangular space, we have formed by the humerus, then you have long head of triceps and teres major. Okay, teres major. So that's how it is. Now what are the structures here? Here also you have one artery, one nerve. So it will be the radial nerve. Okay, radial nerve, and the artery will be profunda brachiae artery. Profunda. Okay. Okay, so now I hope it's clear, the spaces and the structures present in the spaces of the around the shoulder. Now coming to the forearm. So here you can use your hand. Okay, keep, this is actually the left hand is kept over the right elbow. Okay, so this is the where you have to place your hand. So when you place your hand over here, this will be like the origin of the flexor muscles. Okay, so the site of common origin from the medial epicondyle, okay, then we can start from here. This is like one of the shortest muscle, so we can start from pronator teres, okay, towards the, that is from lateral to medial, So the first muscle will be pronator teres. Next is flexor carpi radialis. Next will be palmaris longus. Okay, next, actually it's in the next layer, it's called flexor digitorum superficialis. It's here. Okay, flexor digitorum superficialis, and then you have flexor carpi ulnaris. So totally there are 5 muscles in the superficial superficial layer. Okay, so there is anterior compartment of the forearm divided into 2, superficial and deep. Superficial, there are 5 muscles. Okay, now on this diagram, it's a left forearm, so the hand is kept over here. Okay, so this will be the medial epicondyle, right, over here. So from here it starts. This is the first muscle, so pronata teres. Then you have flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus. It has a long tendon, and it goes to the palm to form the palmar aponeurosis. Okay, then flexor carpi ulnaris is shown here. Like I told you, the flexor digitorum superficialis, it will be in between the two, in between the palmaris longus and flexor carpi ulnaris, but it is little deep to this these muscles. Okay, that's why it's not shown here. So you can see again the same. These are the 5 muscles. So you have pronata teres. Let's see from in this specimen. So the first muscle, pronata teres. Okay, it's a short muscle. It's also right forearm. Next muscle is flexor carpi radialis. Okay, it's going towards the radial bone. Then you have palmaris longus. Okay, palmaris longus has a long tendon. Then you have flexor digitorum superficialis. Okay, flexor digitorum superficialis. Here you may see about 4 tendons. Okay, because it goes to the digits. And then you have flexor carpi ulnaris. It's not clear in this picture. Okay, now coming to the deep muscles. So there are 3 deep muscles. Okay, so there are 5 superficial muscles and 3 deep. The name of the 3 deep muscles are flexor pollicis longus. Okay, flexor pollicis longus. Here you can see that it is going to the pollex. Pollex means the thumb. Okay, so it's going to the thumb. So flexor pollicis longus. Then you have flexor digitorum profundus. Flexor digitorum profundus. Okay, so that's here. The location of flexor digitorum profundus is like deep to the flexor digitorum superficialis. It's just deep to the flexor digitorum superficialis. Okay, then you have pronata quadratus. Pronata quadratus is just a quadrangular shaped muscle. Okay, it is seen between the radius and ulna. Okay, and helps in pronation. So there are 2 muscles which help in pronation, pronata teres and pronata quadratus. Okay, so these are the 3 deep muscles. Again, flexor pollicis longus, flexor digitorum profundus and pronata quadratus. Okay, now coming to the posterior compartment of the forearm, you have 7 superficial muscles and 5 deep muscles. Okay, 7 superficial and 5 deep. So what are the 7 superficial muscles? You have to start from brachioradialis. Okay, the first muscle, this is the brachioradialis. Okay, then you have the next muscle, extensor carpi radialis longus. Okay, can you see this is having the long tendon? So it's extensor carpi radialis longus. The next one will be extensor carpi radialis brevis. Okay, and the next is called as extensor digitorum. Extensor digitorum. Okay, so it's going to the digits. The next is extensor digiti minimi. So it's going to the little finger. Extensor digiti minimi. And then extensor carpi ulnaris. And then there's a very short muscle which is called as anconeus. Okay, so totally there are 7 muscles. Again, the first muscle will be brachioradialis, like we just said. Then extensor carpi radialis longus, extensor carpi radialis brevis can be taken as 2 muscles. So it's 2 and 3. Okay, then you have extensor digitorum, which is number 4. Then extensor digiti minimi number 5. Extensor carpi ulnaris number 6 and anconeus number 7. Okay, so these are the muscles which are superficial muscles. Now coming to the deep muscles, there are 5 deep muscles. We have, this will be the supinator. Okay, it's a very deep muscle. Then you have abductor pollicis longus. Abductor pollicis longus. And then you have extensor, this one in orange, extensor pollicis brevis. Okay, the next one here will be the extensor pollicis longus. As you can see, it forms the borders of the snuff box. Okay, borders of the snuff box. So on one side, that is laterally, you have two muscles, abductor pollicis longus and extensor pollicis brevis, and medially you have one muscle, extensor pollicis longus. Okay, forming the borders of the snuff box, and then one muscle going to the indices, it's called extensor indicis. Extensor indicis. So totally there are 5 muscles: supinator, number 1, abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis, then you have extensor pollicis longus, then extensor indicis. Okay, so totally there are 5 muscles. Now moving on, let's try to identify them. So let's go in order. Like, we have to start from brachioradialis. So this is the brachioradialis. Next will be extensor carpi radialis longus with a long tendon. Okay, can you see the tendon over here? It's long. And then you have extensor carpi radialis brevis, the shorter tendon. Then you have, let's go for the superficial compartment. So extensor digitorum next. Then if you see a separate muscle here, okay, so that will be the here, this one here. So extensor, yeah, extensor digiti minimi, extensor digiti minimi, and then you, the last muscle over here, extensor carpi ulnaris, okay, and you have anconeus. Okay, this is anconeus. So all these are the superficial muscles. Then some of the deep muscles are also seen. The deep muscles are here, abductor pollicis longus, okay, and along with abductor pollicis longus, we said there will be extensor pollicis brevis. Extensor pollicis brevis. Okay, so the other muscles are not clearly seen in this section. Okay, so that's all. Thank you.